About a year ago, when I was putting my computer together, I was flip-flopping back and forth between going with either 3600 megahertz RAM or 3200 megahertz RAM. Um, Pretty much everything that I read, it was saying that you're probably not going to see much performance difference between the two, because for the most part, what they do is they just up the frequency of the RAM, but they loosen the timings. So you kind of lose a little bit of the benefit. As you can see on here, this is the kind that I have. It is XPG D10. I went with the 3600 megahertz. I actually have a 32 gigabyte kit in my computer, and it's running at 18, 20, 20, 42. And on the 3200 megahertz kit, which I have right here, so I was actually able to get this recently as part of a motherboard RAM kit combo, so I got a pretty good deal on it, used. It's running at 16, 20, 20, 38. So slower RAM, tighter timings. When I have my computer, faster RAM, looser timings. Now, I'm not sure about this brand in particular, but Corsair and other manufacturers actually do have 3600 megahertz RAM with significantly tighter timings than what I have. So you can get, like I said, this one comes with 18. You can get 16 or 14, CL16 or CL14. The thing is that with these 2.6 of RAM, the difference in price was maybe about $10, so it wasn't a huge deal. As you go up and get the better performing RAM with the tighter timings, you're going to end up paying out considerably more. I did look at Corsairs and what they were selling for, and to go with like a CL16 at 3600, you're going to be paying about $35 or so more than the 3200 megahertz kit. And vice versa, if you go with the CL14, you're going to be paying close to double, if not more, than the 3200 megahertz kit. So when you start getting into that kind of price to performance, in my mind, that money was better allocated towards, a better CPU or a better GPU, and you get a better, you get a higher return on your money when it comes to like frame rate while gaming than investing it in a kit of a high-end kit of RAM. And the reason why those kits are more expensive, or why they do actually have a higher or tighter timings, is that those are higher bin kits. Just like with CPUs and all that, the better binned chips are your higher end ones, and the lower binned chips are the lower end chips. It's why these here, the CL16 at 3200 megahertz and the CL18 at 3600 megahertz are almost identical, because those chips are almost identical. They're both the lower end bin chips, and they can't handle the tighter timings, so they can have looser timings, but a slightly higher frequency. Anyway, I did do some testing to kind of put my mind at ease if I made the right decision or not, and hopefully this video will help you make the decision for yourself as well, whether you want to go with the higher frequency RAM with the looser timings, or the lower frequency RAM with the tighter timings. Again, the difference in value, or like cost, for these two different sticks it's pretty negligible. At $10, whether you do get increased performance or not, you're not blowing that much money away. Whereas if you go with the other kits, you could be paying significantly more for what you get. Anyway, let's take a look at what I came up with. So I ran a bunch of tests, plunked it here in a spreadsheet for easy viewing. It's easier to digest instead of going through screenshots and screenshots of, or snapshots of gaming benchmarks. Punch it into a spreadsheet because it's a lot easier to digest when everything is nicely summarized in this fashion. But this will give you kind of an idea between like a lower end Ryzen system versus a higher end Ryzen system, as far as what kind of performance you can expect between the different kits of RAM. Again, the 3200 megahertz RAM was only a 16 gigabyte kit. The 3600 megahertz RAM was a 32 gigabyte kit. However, nothing on here used anywhere near 16 gigabytes of RAM, so I don't see just the size of the RAM being a factor in any of these performances. So I started off with my old system, which was a Ryzen 3600 1650 Super. Um, between other than that, nothing has changed. Same power supply, same computer case, same motherboard, same everything else. The only difference was the CPU got upgraded and the GPU got upgraded. So starting off with the Ryzen 3600 system paired with the 1650 Super, 3D Marks did show an improvement in the 3600 megahertz RAM kit at almost 6% higher. Assassin's Creed actually had the highest performance increase of 82 frames, average frames versus 74. I guess maybe I'll take another step back. The settings I used to run these benchmarks were to achieve at least a 60 frame average during the game or higher. I didn't want to go below. I didn't want to have like all the settings jacked up on high if that was going to impede performance, because in real world gaming, that's not what you're going to do. You're not going to run the game at 30 frames. It's not going to be enjoyable. You're going to want at least 60 frames on average or higher, and that's what I did with this. So on the Ryzen 3600 system, we might have medium to high settings. On the Ryzen 5900X system, everything is at the highest possible settings, either ultra, very high, whatever the high settings were. That's what I ran those games at. So going back to the results, again, Assassin's Creed, almost 11% increase in performance, which works out to about 8 frames on average higher, which is pretty good. Then with Far Cry 5, we actually noticed kind of like a dip. It's only 1 frame, so I would put that within the margin of error. So anything where it's like 1 frame, 1%, 2%, I just throw that in the margin of error. Like, you're not really going to notice that difference. But 8 frames, especially if you bump up the settings to get better results from your GPU, you'll notice that. So if you can go on Assassin's Creed up to a higher setting, and it drops your frame rate down to 50. Well, the difference between 50, an average of 50 frames, and the average of 58 frames or 60 frames, you will notice that. Then with Guardians of the Galaxy, there was no change, and Horizon 5, we had about a 10% change. It was a 7 frames on average higher. And then back to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it came in to 2.5%, but that's only really 2 frames, so you wouldn't notice that. So in a couple of instances with the Ryzen 3600 system, you will have better performance using the 3600 kit, and in some instances, the 3200 kit did perform better, but that increased performance was only about 1% at most. So I would say on the 3600 side of things that the 3600 megahertz kit was the right move there. And then down the road, I upgraded recently within the past month or so. I got the 5900X and the AMD 6700 XT, and lo and behold, I still saw some improvement in some games, just not to the same extent, and not in the same games, oddly enough, because in this case, under 3D Mark, there was virtually no difference. However, on Cinebench, there was a 7.6% increase in performance. Assassin's Creed went from 11% performance gain down to 1.37. So I would put that in the margin of error. Far Cry 5, no difference whatsoever. Then Guardians of the Galaxy, we did see a 4.5% jump. And Horizon 5, we saw a 2% decrease. And in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, we were at 0. So again, different system setups did show different games had different performance depending on which RAM kit you used. Some of these I had to rerun over and over again because the results just seemed weird, but this is what it ended up being. So from my standpoint, I think I made the right decision. I went with the 3600. So for the most part, certain games will see a increase in performance, while others will see virtually nothing or maybe even a slight decrease. Um, and again, that's what the difference between the two kits was virtually indistinguishable. At $10, it's not that big of a difference. And the reason why I chose these specific games was they had built-in benchmarks, so I didn't have to worry about starting MSI Afterburn at the exact same time and ending it at the exact same time, doing general gameplay on some of the other games. All I had to do, and I relied on the game's internal benchmarking systems to pop out what the average frame rate was. Again, it just took human error out of the equation, and I relied on the games to do everything and execute everything on their own. So uh, I know if I was playing like Halo 5 or Halo Infinite or anything like that and just doing random gameplay, there could be the possibility where I'm comparing these 2.6 RAM that while going through the walkthrough or anything like that, depending on when I started MSI Afterburn, if I was a second later or early or anything like that, or if there was any kind of stuttering, it might have got picked up and could have skewed these benchmarks. So I felt using the built-in in-game benchmarks would be the best. And I did have a mix. I have older games such as Assassin's Creed and Far Cry, but I also have much newer games such as Guardians of the Galaxy and Forza Horizon 5 to kind of give a broad sampling of the different types of games that you might play, and if it would be a difference whether you're playing an older game or a newer game. But based on this, that really didn't matter. Anyway, if you have any questions, you have comments, please leave them in the description below. Thank you.